Are you looking for more out of your life? Do you need ideas on how to start new businesses and how to move forward in your own personal life? Well, guess what? You have come to the right radio show. At You Can Overcome Anything podcast show, you will learn and hear from many people from all walks of life who are sharing their challenges, their stories, the habits, and the mind shifts they had to overcome to become who they are today. On top, you will get a chance to connect and see how you can overcome anything by networking and learning about your next move through this radio show. I present to you our great speakers at You Can Overcome Anything podcast show with your host, Cesar Espino. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. It is your host, Cesar Espino, and today I have a special guest. He is the founder and the CEO of Rhino Skin Solutions, a performance and recovery brand built for athletes who actually use their bodies, climbers, skiers, disc golfers, martial artists, and outdoor workers. He formulates plant-based topical products designed to solve real problems like torn skin, overuse, and recovery fatigue. Rhino products are made in the US at a 100% on-site solar power facility and are WADA and USADA compliant, trusted by professional and Olympic level athletes. He brings a practical, experience-driven approach to health, sustainability, and entrepreneurship, focused on work that works, not hype. It is my pleasure to introduce to you who is our CEO of Rhino, Justin Brown. How are you, Justin?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing this morning?
I'm
This
doing
afternoon?
good. Yeah, definitely. I'm doing good. So, Justin, tell me, before we get diving into how you got into all of this, because it's very fascinating to even understand where the idea might have come about to be able to do this. Talk to me a little bit about where you originally from and your upbringing.
Yeah, I'm originally from a suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. Um, Standard Midwest family, two older sisters, mom, dad. My dad's a Social Security workers' compensation lawyer.
Okay.
So yeah, it was interesting growing up with him. Um, he had just still has a passion for just helping people pretty much and community outreach. He's super social. And his whole job is based around just taking people that may be disenfranchised and helping them get the things they deserve or need. So I think I probably got some of that from him.
Yeah.
Um, and he's just got a great work ethic. And yeah, my mom, she taught nursery school for a while, and then was just a stay-at-home mom and artist. Not just a stay-at-home mom, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of work. She was a
Right.
stay-at-home mom
That
and
by itself,
artist.
that by itself is a lot of work for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, just passion for taking care of us and having a lovely household. And yeah, just grew up. And I tell people that Cleveland, Ohio is a great place to be from. It's just got a bunch of really great people, and everybody's just kind of there being themselves. It's really nice.
For sure, for sure. So, tell me, where did the idea came about? Or as you know, normally when we're growing up, right, we have this
Hmm.
idea of when I grow up, I want to be, whatever, a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer, a
Yeah,
fireman, right? We always have a dream, right? What was
yeah,
it for you? Because I know for you, at an early age, you were you had a disease, right? And you were diagnosed
hmm,
with uh, Crohn's disease, and you had some health challenges. So let's talk about maybe that journey, because I think that also led you to where you are right now, but also the idea of
hmm.
knowing that you were kind of having that, or somebody labeled you in such a way that you say, hey, maybe I need to focus myself in my career as when I grow up to be this particular person.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was 12, I mean, as a kid, growing up, you change what you want to be all the time.
Right.
I wanted to be a cowboy at first, but I was a couple centuries too late for that.
Yeah.
Uh, and then I wanted to be a veterinarian. But like school and studying just wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it wasn't my thing. I just wasn't great at it. I wasn't great at like studying for a long amount of time and paying a lot of attention. And my mind likes to wander and test out ideas and just kind of be more creative. Um, but then, yeah, when I was 12, I was having real bad health issues. I would go to school. I would sleep in the car on the way to school. I would be at school, not just tired. I'd be able to participate, but just not really absorbing information that was needed to absorb. And I'd get home and I'd barely eat dinner. I would eat a little bit of food and then I'd just not feel great from that. And I'd basically just sleep the rest of the day until school the next day. Um, and so obviously my parents are like, well, there's something wrong. Let's explore this.
Hmm.
And yeah, I got diagnosed with Crohn's, which is a inflammatory bowel disease when I was 12. Um, so yeah, that basically just like saps your energy, saps your ability to do work and put in work and think and learn. All your body's energy is going to try and heal your intestines.
Mm.
Um, and so yeah, I think that shaped me for a long time, um, through like not great at academics, first of all, and then just like that feeling of not belonging and being different than everybody else, and just not being able to like participate in school and sports and whatnot in the way I thought everybody else was. And so I think it made me like a little shy, a little reserved, a little withdrawn,
Hmm.
and just feeling that like I didn't fit in or people didn't want me to fit in. And who knows, like if I didn't have Crohn's, if I still would have felt that, like
Right.
it's it's possible. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
Um,
I think one of the things that you mentioned, and I think you were living with these limitations too, like to an extent,
yep.
right? I mean, there was these limitations of how to go about life and doing that. And I think a lot of times, not only growing up, do people go through certain things, but even there's people that might be facing something similar that maybe you faced many, many years ago,
Mhm.
even now, where you feel out of place, where you feel like maybe my condition or whatever I might be dealing with is not very well welcomed by the other people. And so how did I overcome that? How did I get to the next phase?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is the lifelong process, right? Because just being like sick as a kid, especially at 12 and like formative years of it, definitely like ingrained this way of being. Um, but it also, I think having some adversity and hardship is good
Hmm.
because like the rest of your life um, isn't as bad as that episode, and um, it, I think I'm not cured from Crohn's. Like I still have it. I still suffer from it with like poor absorption of nutrients and like just gastrointestinal issues. Um, so I think I quickly got away from like wanting to be a veterinarian, and then I wanted, I loved skiing and I loved
Hmm.
the outdoors and rock climbing, and I wanted to be a climbing guide or mountain guide. But I couldn't really do that either. You're basically a professional athlete that's relying on your body,
Hmm.
and just through malnutrition, malabsorption, I just couldn't get my body to work properly. And so every time I would try and like ramp up physical activity, I'd just get injured. I was just way too tired to complete like the needed tasks. And so, like, that is really what I wanted to do, but I just couldn't get my body to do it. I didn't feel safe
Hmm.
in the wilderness with people who relied on me. And
Right.
I couldn't like go down that path and feel good about it. So then I decided I loved cooking and I wanted to be a chef or a cook.
Yeah.
So I did that. I did that for like a little over 10 years, and I loved that. Working hard, talking shit, just like
Hmm.
being a really great craftsman and having these things you're making with your hands that somebody's gonna put in their mouth and talk about and talk with friends about. I just love the whole process and I loved the job. But again, like it was hard. My intestines wouldn't always cooperate with like
Mm.
the amount of work I had to put in, and the diet and just the long days that cooking involves, um, and and so yeah, I tried that for as long as I could, and I was like successful, you know, like
Right.
I had a good life and I worked at some nice restaurants that really gave me a feeling of satisfaction. Um, but it took a toll on my body and I knew that I couldn't do that for the rest of my life. Um, and just being like a craftsman that likes to make stuff that people use and maybe seeing part of my dad of like I want to help people.
Yeah.
I thought about the climbing community that I was rock climbing community that I was part of, and my wife's a pharmacist, so she was a amazing um, resource for this, and we just
Right.
started talking about like what climbers need for their bodies and
Got it.
how can we make their experience better. Um,
Two things that come to mind
so,
as you're mentioning that. Number one, I think even trying to find a place of where do I fit in, what makes more sense, what is not going to take a toll on my body so that I can continue. I think part of it comes down to, and I think you mentioned that in my notes here is it's a lot of it has to do with the mindset. It has to do with having
mhm,
a different perspective and seeing things from a different point of view. So that there's an African proverb that I really like, and it says, "When there's no enemy within, there's no enemy outside that can do you no harm." Right, and so it comes down
mhm,
to that. Regardless of your circumstances, your health issues, or any of that for that matter, I think I do believe, honestly, do believe that when you have a very strong foundation in your mind, then really anything is possible, and then you can make better decisions and choices based on what you have in front of you, but also understanding the way that operates. So that's the first thing that I want to touch on. Number two, I also believe that sometimes from a need or a circumstances that maybe is limiting you to an extent, you find a solution, right? Or from pain, growth can happen, right? So there might have been a
mhm.
pain point that now created a growth for you to like, hey, maybe I can help this other people. At the same time, it's a solution for what you're dealing with. Talk to me about those two things.
Yeah, I think those are great points, and I think you like hit the nail on the head with that for sure. Um, the first one, uh, I feel the enemy within. Um, I do feel that like when my health is not as good, or when my life is not as organized, or my family isn't doing well, or the work is not doing well, I feel more tired, and I feel like if one of those things is out of place, everything's out of
Mm,
place. And if everything is working symbiotically, I feel uplifted and my life is better and I'm healthier and my employees are better and the work is getting done better. And
mhm.
um, yeah, I think having that like personal satisfaction of doing good for people, doing good for my employees, doing good for the community, doing good for my family definitely helps give me strength to continually pursue that craft of making everything better.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I think that's just part of being a craftsman
Yeah.
is kind of always figuring out whether it's within you or without of you, what can you improve, what can you make better, and then just like stacking those things on top of each other
Right.
one on one. Um, well, I forget what the second part of
No,
that
the
was.
other one was, again, I believe that sometimes from a pain, a purpose is
Hmm.
born, right? Or a solution is
Yeah,
born,
yeah.
right? And I know that I wanted to see if any of that relates to how you ended up with Rhino Skin Solutions to an extent,
Yep.
and or even for your own things you were dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, acutely, there's difficulties in rock climbing that you need to deal with your body,
Mhm.
specifically your hands and your skin and
Right.
your joints just get worn down. So like Rhino was created out of that necessity,
Mm.
but in the bigger picture, um, Rhino was created because of the difficulties I was having pursuing my career as a cook, as a
Got it.
chef.
Yeah.
Um, there would be days, or yeah, there'd be days and services where everything would be going great, and I'd just be like, "Oh boy, I gotta go to the bathroom." And I know my staff was like, "Where did he just go?" It is like
Yeah.
6:45. There's 100 people out there. Like, what are we supposed to do right now? And the thought go, and I don't like them feeling lost and disenfranchised and
Right.
like I'm not supporting them. That is my whole job, is to support them, you know? And so there would be days where I would be at home like trying to sort through what I'm doing and how to make it easier and better, and be like, am I disabled? Like,
Mm.
at what point do I go, I want to do this job? I can't really do that job. I want to do this job. I can't really do that job. Maybe I'll try this job. I can't, like, my body physically does not let me do that job. And so, yeah, I should have just asked my dad. Like, he's a professional.
Right.
But yeah, the thought went through my mind of like, am I disabled, and how do I go down the path of finding support for that? Um, like just standing on my feet and working and having a gastrointestinal issue from Crohn's and just being super tired and worn out. Like, what is the point
Hmm.
where you just kind of have to call it quits on work? You
Right.
know, like, do you just keep going down the line of like easier and easier and easier work, or do you try and figure out a passion that fits into what your body is able to do? And I think that's where Rhino came in.
Got it.
um
Yeah.
it wasn't a job at first. It was a lot. I was working and doing this, so I was putting in like 20-hour days,
Yeah.
and luckily I was in a spot where I had the time to do that.
Yeah.
But boy, that wasn't healthy. For sure, that wasn't
Well,
healthy.
I was gonna
Uh,
say that for sure. I mean, that definitely, it definitely would be taking a lot of time away from everything, and a huge toll on your body too, right? You're just not being able
yeah,
to
yeah. My
rest.
my wife was at a point where she was working out of town 3 or 4 days a week, so I really did have time to just kind of do my own thing. I'm not
Hmm.
like a big partier. I don't go to the bars. I don't like go listen to live music very often.
Got it.
So so I would be at home and just like tinkering on the business, building a website, figuring out formulations, making stuff, selling it, shipping it out.
Yeah.
Um, and and eventually I was able to quit working in restaurants, and that was big.
Mm.
I built this thing that was full time for me. I now have amazing staff, and if they get sick, they don't have to come in. If they need to go spend time with their families, awesome. They're always like, "Hey, can I go do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, you're not in prison. Just
Yeah. I
just
love
go
it.
do what you need to do,
Yeah.
and just be here if we need you, and if you can get ahead. So when you're gone, that's great." And that's kind of like where I am, work wise too. It's wonderful. We had a kid a few years ago, and my staff was like, "Yeah, just take care of him as much as you need. We got this. We'll let you know if we need you. If I get sick with a flare up or something, I know I have a team behind me.
Mm,
And yeah, I really, and I think building it with that in mind, with having a chronic disease instead of building it, building a business with like, I want to make tens of millions of dollars and sell it and go live in whatever for the rest of my life. I think that kind of focused me on building a business that was a little bit more attached to people instead
mm,
of attached to numbers.
right.
And yeah, just for me, it felt better, which kind of led into like my body feeling better, which leads into my family being better, which
Yeah.
leads into, just everything.
I love that.
And so it's,
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I really love that. And based on my notes here, like when you build that company, not only have you grown as a leader, right, to your people, the people that are
mhm,
in your company, but I love the fact that you've built your company around the values of not only motivating, but being able to take care of your health, take care of your family, take care, right, and I
mhm,
think by itself, if I'm looking at even investing in or buying some of your products, like, hey, I like the values and I like how, you know, you as the head of the company uh, are really fostering the idea of, hey, health comes first, right? You're gonna take care of your health.
yep,
If you need, like you said,
yep,
if you need some time off, hey, go ahead and take the time off, right? And I think not only those core values measure the type of company you're running, but also talks about the products and the services you're giving. So let's talk about the products and services that you offer to athletes and things like that.
yeah. So Rhino was started as a rock climbing company, specifically for the rock climbers' needs. So the major tool we have is our hands.
Hmm.
Um, I think most of the world saw Alex Hanold climb Taipei 101 the other day.
Yeah.
Um, and so taking care of your skin is super important. So the heart of our products, plant based. We make them all in house, so we don't have to buy 500,000 bottles and have them sit on the shelf for all year before we sell them, which lets us put better ingredients in there. We don't do any synthetic emulsifiers. We don't do any synthetic preservatives. It's all formulated for what you need to make your skin better or your joints feel better and heal, or your body more healthy. That's the only thing that's in there.
Mm.
And it just so happens that when you make a good product that's healthy for your body, it also doesn't really go bad that like in any quick amount of time, like we put a lot of effort into just keeping a clean facility, keeping clean machines
Hmm.
and storage containers. And so if our base products are excellent, high quality essential oils and waxes, then the end product is going to be high quality. And so it lasts about a year,
Mm.
um, which should be plenty
Right.
to get you through a bottle. Um, and yeah, so that's our major one is skincare. We have a massage cream
Okay.
is my personal favorite. It's I call it a curry for your body. It's got capsaicin and clove and turmeric and cinnamon,
Mm.
and ginger, black pepper, a couple flowers like chamomile and helichrysum, and then it's got a tree sap called dragon's blood. It's an African tree sap. It's pro blood flow, kind of antibiotic as well. And so that one's like this warming anti-inflammatory cream that just kind of helps soothe and warm achy muscles and joints, and kind of helps them relax and lets the blood kind of get back into the area, as it reduces inflammation and kind of movement and motion.
Right.
And then we have like a Castile soap, um, that uses the same essential oils as our flagship skin cream repair, and that's antifungal, antibacterial,
Mm.
and it's got a like a coconut oil, grapeseed oil base to it. So it's kind of like invigorating and uplifting, and Yeah, that's the majority of our products. We have coconut massage oil and some antiperspirants for hands and feet as well.
Got it.
If you're like a gamer or a skier or rock climber, or whatever it is, if you have like sweaty hands and feet, we have a non-aluminum antiperspirants for that as
Yeah.
well.
So it's tailored to any really anyone that's involved with any kind of physical exercise,
Yep.
whether it's baseball, basketball, football, anything, right? And is this
Yep.
also is this primarily for like adults or like in high school students, that are in sports use this?
Yeah, totally. Anybody can use it. It's cosmetic grade. So there's no like harsh uh ingredients in there.
Hmm.
Uh, Obviously, you need to be a responsible person.
Right.
You don't drink it. Don't get
Yeah.
it in your eyes.
Yeah.
The antiperspirants can dry your skin out quite a lot, so that's kind of, I think a high school person would be fine.
Yeah.
If they're performance oriented. I wouldn't like give it to an 8-year-old and be like, here, you have
Yeah.
sweaty hands, try that.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Um, but we there are youth climbers that use it for sure, down to like early teens probably.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe even a little younger. I've talked with some parents that have some concerns about their kids, and like our products can help them.
Hmm.
Uh, our repair cream's been great for people with eczema as well.
Oh, okay. Got
Um,
it.
really, really helps that dry, like really sore skin. It helps hydrate that and kind of speeds up skin turnover. Um, so yeah, as we branch out of climbing, it's interesting to hear the use cases for it. There's
Yeah.
a Somebody reached out to me that had uh, cancer, and they were having numbness and tingling in their hands and feet from that. And they said the massage cream like totally solved it for them. Just I think from the
Nice.
capsaicin, the
Yeah.
clove.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's for anybody. Like we we kind of say, whatever your adventure, Rhino has you covered. So
Gotcha.
that could
Yeah.
be like literally walking in the mountains, or the adventure of, it's not a great adventure. It's not an adventure anybody would want, but like having cancer, that's
Right.
a
Yeah.
tough adventure that you're on, and
Yeah, for
so
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta ask, I'm curious, like, how do you come up with like even to know put together the ingredients or like even come up with like the first product that you
Yeah.
came with, like what to put on, how to put this together, how to make it, it come to life, right? Because you actually we go back to the idea of in your mind you're seeing beyond, and you have this idea, and you
Mhm.
want to utilize it to help. In this case, you're doing it to help you more than anything. But how do you figure out, well, what did I come up with the ingredients, right? And put this
Yeah.
together.
I think being a chef and a cook really helped that, because
Got
I
it.
wasn't scared to just like try and make stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been a ingredient reader just for fun forever, like just pick
Got
up a
it.
box of cereal and
Yeah.
see what's in it, and pick up hand soap and see what's in there. And so when we started kicking around the idea of making products, there was a few products out there that me and my wife liked already.
Mm.
So we kind of looked at them, looked at kind of like went through all the ingredients. What do these ingredients do? Do they all have to be in there? And that's where we kind of came to the conclusion that we can make a much better version of what's out there.
Got it.
Um, if you look at, there's a ton of lotions out there that are like powered by plants, or
Hmm.
like lavender, packed with lavender or whatever, and then you read them and it's just the standard long chemical names, and then down at the bottom it says lavender or fragrance or whatever.
Mm.
And I, it just bugged me. I
Yeah.
was like, we don't need this stuff. And sometimes when you feel like, if you ever have that like feeling of addiction to chapstick or a lotion, a lot of those preservatives and emulsifiers actually cause like dryness and itching, and some sort of reaction. So you put it on, you get soothed, and then as that product goes away, you're like, I'm itchy again, and you put more on. Where ours doesn't have any of those
Yeah.
emulsifiers and synthetics that might bug your skin. And so yeah, we just tried it. Like her and I, we
Yeah.
tried making some, and it we definitely threw out a lot at the start, just
Yeah.
learning how to emulsify the things and cool them down, and how much of what ingredient, and what not to put in it, and what order to put everything in. Um, so yeah, we just kind of went on that journey of discussing ingredients and what we
Hmm.
liked. And then we try it out, and then we gave it to friends, and um, they tried it and they liked it. And
Yeah.
um, I would say was it was a work in progress. We're about 10 years now, and it
Okay.
was a work in progress for it's always a work in progress.
Yeah.
But the primary formulations of like repair cream and our balms and our antiperspirants, that was a work in progress for a good solid 4 years,
Mm.
until we got a product that was like reliable, uh, reliable, consistent, and a texture and longevity that we liked. And thank God people bought it for that first 4 years. It wasn't a bad product,
Yeah.
but it was definitely more fragile. It just wasn't exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
And but
Right.
over time and working the craft, we came up with the formulations that really work.
Yeah, and I think those are really good points in many different aspects, and kind of like the notes that I have here. You mentioned is like you don't need you don't need to be perfect, or you don't need perfect conditions to move
Hmm.
forward. Number one. Number two, uh, progress comes from consistent aligned action, right? And so
Yes.
as long as you
Yep.
continue, because a lot of people try to do something, and that's the key word. They try, they fail, they might try a second time, and they're like, you know what, I'm out of this. I'm gonna get out of this, and so
Yeah.
they lose the momentum, they lose the consistency. Or sometimes, we want everything to be perfect. I need this
Yep.
product to be perfect, and if it's not, I'm never going to release it. So then you're never going to know what to improve upon, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Consistency in restaurants is key. That's why like McDonald's
Mm,
does well. They're not great, but boy,
right.
you're getting the exact same thing every time.
Right.
And just yeah, just going to work at it every single day, and getting your voice out about the product and working on the formula every day and thinking about it. And yeah, you see that a lot with people that are, I think they see the end result of
Right.
businesses just
Yeah.
pop up, and they become aware of it, and they're like, wow, that person was successful in like 2 years or three
Right, the
years. And you're
overnight
like,
success. Yeah.
no, they probably failed for 6 years, or not failed maybe, but they were just it was going slow going and
Right.
real hard for years and years and years. And then something just clicked for them, whether it was luck or skill or effort or all of it.
Right.
And yeah, I think there's that idea of like 10,000 hours to be a professional or whatever at it, and at something. And I think that's just the start.
Yeah.
10,000 hours is like when you're efficient at the task, where
Mm.
you can start where it doesn't take all of your energy to complete the task, and you can start thinking about how to make the task better.
Yeah, no, I agree. Justin, if people want to get a hold of your product,
Mm-hmm.
where can they find you?
Yeah, rhinoskinsolutions.com is our website. We got a lot of ingredient information on there. Go check it out. Instagram is kind of our primary um, way we like do outreach,
Mm.
and let people know what our athletes are doing, and if there's any sales or anything. So following us on Instagram, Rhino Skin Solutions. We've got a good bit of information about our products, and some physical therapy stuff on YouTube, Rhino
Mm.
Skin Solutions. And yeah, it's just Rhino Skin Solutions will pop up for sure.
for sure. And are you doing distribution all over the world or just the US?
Yeah, we are all over the world. We're in REI in the USA. We're in over 300 climbing gyms and specialty stores in the US.
Nice.
Amazon, of course. And then, yeah, we have distributors in the EU, UK, Singapore, China, Australia, everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, good, 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 good. So definitely people can find your product all over the
Yep.
place.
Yeah. And
Um,
we have a map on our website. I think it's first page. Just scroll down and just figure out. Just look on the map, zoom into where you are, and you'll see shops that carry our
oh,
stuff.
cool. Awesome, awesome.
Yep.
A couple of last questions for you. Number one is,
Mhm.
what are your daily habits? What are the things that you do on a daily basis to keep you up and going and stay on this
Mhm.
mission that you're in right now?
Boy, that's a good question. I have a 3.5-year-old, so
Okay.
the daily habits are hard to come by.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of popping my head above water right now with being a father, new father still,
Yeah.
um, and really trying to get back to those daily habits of physical fitness and eating better. And I don't eat bad for sure, but um, yeah, just being a little bit more consistent in my diet would be better. Yeah, I get a good amount of sleep, 8 hours a day. Wake up, uh, get my kid ready for school. Kind of talk about what's exciting for both of us or all
Mm,
three of us. Mom, dad, Milo
yeah.
is my son. Yeah, so like, yeah, wake up, getting ready for school, and yeah, one of the things I really like is just like talking about what we're doing that day,
I
which
love that.
helps which helps me organize what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I think it gives him a idea of like work ethic. Like mom and dad are going to work, you're going to preschool. What are you
Mm,
doing at preschool?
yeah.
And it kind of gets him ready for it too. Like if we just let him linger at the house and then we're like, okay, let's go. He's like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then get to work, answer emails, and that's where I in the mornings like where I do most of my outreach
Yeah.
and like business building. That's where in the morning I feel like my mind's working the best. I'm not distracted by anything.
Got it.
And so I can just kind of start tasks, finish tasks, or dive deep into them. Um, and then try to get a workout in the afternoon, and at 4:30 pick up the kid, and then if it's nice outside we try and go outside and play. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Well, those are definitely good habits to have, and I'm sure some of the
Yep.
people that are listening can definitely take note on that. Justin, you've given us a lot of great ideas and a lot of what I consider to be golden nuggets. I want to see if I can get one more out of you before I let you
Okay.
go. And for
Ooh,
the
a lot of
people that are,
pressure.
yeah, no pressure. For the people that are watching us and or listening to us, if they're going through any challenge, whatever challenge that might be,
Mhm.
what is one thing they can start doing today to overcome that challenge?
Yeah, that's a good one. My New Year's resolution every year is I try and build. It's more than just this, but
Yeah.
my New Year's resolution that I say verbally and I write down and I tell people about is no complaining without a solution.
Mm,
Um, and so that's easier said than done, obviously. But I think a lot of times you can see the difficulties in life and you get dragged down by them, and
hmm.
it's hard to look through them and look past it and understand that there's more out there. There's there's life to grab, there's opportunities to grab, there's people out there that will support you through whatever you need. And if you have a problem, it doesn't do much good to just be like, man, I got this problem.
Yeah.
It sucks. The better thing to do is in your head go, I got this problem. Let's try and attack it over here with this action. Let's see if this works. And that may not work. The first 30 things may not work, but one of them is going to work, and it may not work in the way you thought it was going to work. Just take action with the difficulties that you have in your life instead of lingering on the difficulty.
Yeah, I love that. It's like somebody mentioned this to me one time. It's like throw as much noodles as you can to the wall, and eventually one of them is gonna stick, right? And so
Yep.
that's exactly what it is. Well, Justin, again, thank you again for being here. Really appreciate this conversation and everything you had to share. Any last minute words you want to say before I let you go?
No, wonderful conversation. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, thank you again for being here. And for the rest of you guys, do me a favor. Go ahead and check out Rhino Skin Solutions. Follow them on Instagram or all social media. And also tell somebody, because definitely somebody needs to hear this message. And I will see you guys on the next episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cesar Espino, real estate investor, business coach, and consultant, and author of the book, You Can Overcome Anything, Even When the World Says No. My number is 424-501-6046. In my book, I talk about making the necessary changes to shift your mind for prosperity and certainty. Pick up your copy at Amazon. I also love helping families with their real estate and can purchase your house fast and all cash. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. My number is 424-501-6046.
Thank you for having me today. I am so glad you've tuned into this podcast. You can find me at your favorite podcast platform where you can like, subscribe, comment, and share. And to learn more about myself, my services, you can find me at www.cesarrespino.com, or you can also find me at your social media. Thanks for joining me, and I am looking forward to having you at the next episode. And know you truly can overcome anything.